Good evening and warm welcome to State of Business. You are with me, Madhusya Tavapalakumar. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines first. Sri Lanka appreciates international support received to rescue Sri Lankan crew. And the National Chamber of Exporters says frequent protests in Colombo affect investors. And now the stories in detail. The Foreign Ministry today expressed its appreciation to all the parties who supported in securing the release of Sri Lankan crew and their vessel Aries 13 from the Somali pirates. The ministry said the USA Combined Naval Force in Bahrain, the EU and several others supported this effort. The Aries 13 was hijacked in the Gulf of Aden on 13 March. The first successful hijacking since May 2012 by Somali pirates has raised fears about a new surge in piracy in the region. The crew of 8 were reported to be safe and the master of the vessel confirmed there had been no injuries during the 4-day ordeal.
අත්වශයෙන්ම negotiation එක මොකක්ද කියලා අපි හරියටම දන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද negotiation එක සිද්ධ වුණේ නැවේ අයිතිකාර සමාගම සහ මේ මූදු කොල්ලකරුවන් අතරේ. ඒ යන අතරතුර වෙඩි තියන්න පටන් ගත්තා. එතකොට අපි දන්නේ නැහැ negotiation එක මොකක්ද කියලා. අපි අද වෙනකන් දන්නේ නැහැ negotiation එක මොකක්ද කියලා. නමුත් අපිට අවශ්‍ය වුණේ negotiate කරන්න ඉඩ ලබා දෙන්න. තුවක්කු පත්තු කරන ASCII negotiate කරන්න බෑනේ.
Getting sea marshals on board ships is totally the duty, responsibility or the will of the shipping company. Though if the shipping company wanted, they would have had at least 4 sea marshals. Now this ship was vulnerable. It was slow and low. It had a very low freeboard where the pirates could enter. It was very slow. I think it's about 5 knots, which is very slow. And they were going very close. If they wanted, they would have. Well, what happens is if you want to do certain things quickly, they go very close to the land and then they cut short the sea lanes and do. So then you can save fuel and time. But then you do it risk. But I think there is a very, very elaborate mechanism put in place at CMF. And if you follow the 41 countries having a lot of air and sea assets, I don't think it's very easy to penetrate. But then they didn't have even any sea marshals on board.
Ramal Jasingha, the president of the National Chamber of Exporters, says the frequency of protests and strikes taking place in the city of Colombo has a direct impact on investors who arrive in Colombo to seal prospective deals. He said although the government has granted the democratic right and environment for citizens of the country to protest against issues, this situation is causing serious damage to our economy and more so to the image of the country. He added, quote, "We fear that the immediate result would be that the much sought-after foreign investors will skip Sri Lanka in their tour itinerary due to the resulting inconvenience and the image of instability that it would negatively reflect on our image as an investment-friendly country," unquote. Whatever the motives or agendas behind these demonstrations may be, he said the National Chamber of Exporters feels that enough is enough and that the powers that be restore law and order, which was the tide that brought about the present political change, and help us all, big and small, to get on with life. National Lotteries Board today announced the launch of a special lottery named Mega Power targeting the upcoming new year. The National Lotteries Board said they expect to sell 1.5 million tickets during the month. The Mega Power Lottery is scheduled to be drawn on the 8th of April. A super prize of 125 million rupees and a range of other attractive prizes will be offered through this lottery.
We have launched the special lottery for the Mega Power, which is aiming at the Sinhala New Year. Other than that, there are motor cars, bikes as special prizes. And we are planning to draw this on the 8th of April as close to the New Year. And we hope to sell nearly 1.5 million lotteries for the month. And we hope that the people will, somebody will win this 125 million, which is a very big prize in the market today.
See you after this break. Welcome back. The CEO of Hattah National Bank, Jonathan Aller, says the bank will focus on SME lending and personal banking portfolios in 2017. Addressing an investor forum in Colombo, Aller said that bank projects its lending to grow by 17% this year. The HNB Group's operating profit before VAT and tax grew by a record 41.3% to Rs 27.1 billion, whilst the group profit after tax grew by 41.2% to Rs 15.7 billion in 2016. According to its annual report, the profit before tax for the bank recorded an impressive growth of 33.9% to reach Rs 20.1 billion, while the bank's profit after tax improved by 35.4% to Rs 14.1 billion.
Macroeconomic fundamentals, the GDP growth trajectory, the various other investment opportunities will enable us and support this type of aggressive growth plans that HNB has set for itself. So assumptions, GDP would continue at 5-6%. Hopefully in 19 and 20 would reach a 7-8%. It will be fueled by against a relatively lower base compared to the Chinas and Indias of today who are hitting those numbers. Fueled by a better, taxation structure, more inclusive, a wider net, so that the same, individuals don't keep getting hit for tax, a more reasonable tax structure for corporates, in particular for banks, fully recognizing that you shouldn't be, shaving too much of the capital of banks on the understanding that there is no better institution that can leverage capital than a bank.
Let's take a look at the stocks after this break. Welcome back. The trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended in a positive note today. The all-share price index gained 19.27 points to close at 6,047.84. And S&P SL20 index gained 4.50 points to close the session at 3,451.69. The turnover was 1.1 billion rupees and 78.3 million shares were traded. Next is Forex rates. Now we have dealing room update for the week.
The dollar-rupee market was active with the 2-week forwards quoting at 153.20 to 153.40 per dollar this morning. The forward premiums were hovering around the same levels compared to last week. The 1-month premium hovering at around 1.12 to 1.18, while the 1-year premium was hovering around 11.40 to 11.60 levels. On the international market, Federal Reserve increased policy rates by 0.25% on the 15th of March 2017, as expected by the market participants. The sterling edged down 0.1% to $1.23 after hitting a 2-week high of 1.2373 overnight, after the Bank of England kept rates on hold but gave a handful of hints in voting results and its minutes that it might raise them soon. CBSL rejected all 3 tenors at the weekly Treasury bill auction held on the 15th of March 2017. The overnight core money and repo rates were stable this week. The core money rates trading around 8.45 to 8.50%, while the overnight repo rates trading around 8.45 to 8.49 levels this morning. The liquidity in the market was at a deficit of around 23.9 billion rupees on Thursday. The Treasury bond rates in the secondary market were stagnant this week. The 9-year bond maturing on the 1st of August 2026 was trading at around 13.30 to 13.40% this morning.
With that, we wrap up State of Business. We'll meet you tomorrow with the best roundup at 7 p.m. Until then, take care. Good night.